Hey, what's happening YouTube? What's going on, guys? You guys have tuned into Rules for Rebels, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about YouTube, the platform itself, the free version of YouTube, which I imagine is what most people have. I'm not sure what percentage of people are subscribed to YouTube Red, but I think the vast majority of us have free YouTube, and YouTube Free is silently testing playing 5 ads before a video instead of 2 ads before a video. So we're going to be talking kind of more about this. People on Twitter were really annoyed and outraged about this. As always happens whenever YouTube makes a big dramatic change, you always hear people saying things like, we need a competitor to YouTube, YouTube needs some competition, but it doesn't really seem like the general public is willing to use platforms besides YouTube, right? I mean, there's plenty of other options out there. You have things like Library, Odyssey, BitChute, DTube, Rumble. There's a number of other platforms out there. If we're being completely honest, well, the lack of censorship is a good thing. Ultimately, those platforms aren't as good as YouTube, either from the creator side and the tools that you have at your disposal, or from the viewer side. There's just not as much content on these platforms. And also, like, the algorithm, the whole experience using the site isn't as polished or good as YouTube. You know, in a lot of ways, YouTube advertisements are the worst thing to ever happen to YouTube, and it's kind of what's ruined YouTube. However, at the same time, you know, the people over at Google didn't put YouTube together so that creators could express themselves and have fun. They didn't put YouTube together so you could have free YouTube entertainment. The entire reason that YouTube exists is to serve you ads, right? Like, the longer they can keep you on the platform and keep your attention, the more ads that they can serve to you, the more ads that they can serve to you, the more money they can make, since that is their business model. But, you know, I remember way back in the day, and those of you guys who've been on YouTube for a while, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys remember. But I remember at one point, you know, there weren't even pre-roll ads on YouTube. The ads on YouTube were either banner ads on the side of videos, or, you know, in the early days of YouTube, there used to be kind of like a black translucent bar along the bottom of the videos, and that would kind of run text-based ads, but you could X out of it, click it, and make it go away. You know, obviously then pre-roll ads came out. Pre-roll ads didn't used to be that bad. You know, normally it was like a short 5-second non-skippable ad, or it might have been a longer ad, but you could skip it after 5 seconds. Within the past year or two, you know, you normally wind up being served like a 15, 20, 30-second ad, followed by another ad, which is normally skippable after 5 seconds. Well, what this new ad format that YouTube is doing is that they're calling them bumper ads. And how it works, you're going to be served 5 ads back to back to back to back. Now, YouTube claims that these are typically shorter advertisements, and they're about 6 seconds apiece. So 5 ads times 6 seconds, 5 times 6 is 30. You're going to be watching essentially a 30-second non-skippable ad. However, what people on Twitter and the internet seem to be saying about this is they're being served 5 long ads, so 5 30-second to 1-minute ads. I mean, they're watching, you know, anywhere from 2.5 minutes to 6 minutes of ads before watching a video. Why this especially sucks for a platform like YouTube, you know, I guess it depends on what type of content you consume. Maybe some people watch a lot of long-form podcasts and things like that, and you're watching a 2-hour, 3-hour, 4-hour long video. But a lot of times the way you use YouTube, you'll watch a video, you may not like it after a few seconds, you leave. But then if you want to go watch another video, you're going to be served a whole nother set of ads. And something that somebody commented on that I thought was kind of interesting, they said, you know, what YouTube should do is maybe every hour of watch time you're served with 5 of these ads. But if I watch one video for 15 seconds, I don't like it, or I got what I needed out of it, I wind up leaving that video and going to another video. You know, I shouldn't have to watch a whole nother sequence of 5 long ads. So, you know, this whole thing's kind of interesting. I don't know if anybody knows of any ad blockers that actually work on a YouTube app. Let me know. I'd never really looked for ad blockers in the past for a couple of reasons. One, I like to kind of support content creators. You know, I create content. I like to support content creators. And if I'm not going to give you money, give you a PayPal donation, subscribe to your Patreon, I figure the least I can do is watch a 15-second ad and make sure you get some money. So that's part of it. Second, you know, sometimes I kind of like ads. You know, I don't necessarily enjoy watching ads, but sometimes I'll see an ad for an interesting software, an interesting tool. You know, obviously we're served ads that are relevant to us, so some of the ads are actually interesting to me, but at some point the ads become so overwhelming and so time wasting that, you know, I am starting to look for an option to be able to skip ads. As far as I know, there aren't any good ad blockers that skip all the YouTube ads on the YouTube mobile app. If you're watching it on a PC, I think there are some Chrome extensions or Firefox extensions that will block ads. But if any of you guys have a good mobile YouTube app ad blocker, let me know. I'd love to check it out. We're going to be checking out this article from Gizmochina that kind of talks about this this new test that YouTube is doing, and then we might wind up reading a few Twitter comments about this as well. But I'll link to the article. The article is called Gizmochina. YouTube Free is silently testing 5 ads instead of 2 ads before your video. YouTube, video sharing social media platform wholly owned by Google, has recently silently implemented a new ad platform starting in September of 2022. YouTube users who are not subscribed to YouTube Premium, so it seems like they're trying to force everybody into Premium. YouTube subscribers who are not subscribed to YouTube Premium will now receive up to 5 advertisements to be watched before your video starts. And maybe I'll make this video the screenshot, since I'll probably wind up doing this like a podcast format video. But it says 1 of 5, and it's this particular ad has 12 seconds left, but then there's going to be 4 more to play. The news broke out when several YouTube free users started complaining on Twitter and Reddit that they have been receiving 5 ads instead of 2 before they could watch their YouTube video. So a Twitter user by the name of BadGalVV says, "So YouTube, 2 ads weren't enough. Now y'all want to play 5 ads that nobody cares for, and I can't skip." Here's another one from Logan C01962550. And he says, along with a screenshot, he says, "YouTube just gave me 5 long unskippable ads." And, he shows a screenshot of ad number 3 of 5. For several YouTube free users, they reported that they have received 5 unskippable advertisements as opposed to skippable advertisements before a video watching session. And this caused dissent and upset among the users. Regarding the matter, YouTube has issued an official reply on Twitter acknowledging the situation and stated that the new 5 ad phenomenon could happen to YouTube users with the company's certain type of ad format and these are called bumper ads. As explained by YouTube, these bumper ads are short ads on the platform that are typically 6 seconds long and unfortunately unskippable. But again, even though YouTube says these are 6 seconds, a lot of people are reporting that these are longer ads. So in response to BadGalVV, who said, "So YouTube, 2 ads weren't enough. Now y'all want 5 ads that no one can skip and nobody cares." So the YouTube official Twitter account, which is @TeamYouTube, said, "This may happen with a certain type of ad format called bumper ads, since they're only up to 6 seconds long. If you'd like, you can send feedback directly from YouTube via the Send Feedback tool." And so a lot of people were giving YouTube some shit, saying that rather than actually addressing the situation with people complaining about it on Twitter, where everything is kind of transparent and public and people can kind of see YouTube's response and YouTube's stance on this, they just want people to kind of submit a form and kind of complain that way. Currently not all YouTube free users are experiencing the 5 ads before your video starts situation. So it seems like YouTube is currently testing out the waters among selected YouTube free users. As of now, most users of YouTube free are only receiving up to 2 ads before the video starts, but it is not known whether the 5 ad format will soon be rolled out to all YouTube free users soon. So it seems like this is kind of a beta test. Lastly, YouTube reiterates that if both free and premium users have feedback regarding YouTube's ad policy, users can always send feedback directly to the company via the Send Feedback tool on the company's video sharing platform. I'll hop into one of these and we'll see just kind of what the Twitter community is saying. Twitter obviously likes to be outraged about things, most of which are silly. I think this is a legitimate complaint. So we got, the Mermaid V, or the Bad Gal VV, who says, so YouTube 2 ads weren't enough. YouTube responds. Let's see the responses to YouTube's response. So YouTube says, this can happen with a certain type of ad called bumpers ads, blah, blah, blah. So the full-blooded separated something says, and there's a certain type of plugin called ad blocks that is specifically built to deal with companies trying to drown you in ads. Somebody else says, those don't work on TV apps. Seriously, why YouTube Advanced is better? Imagine they have all the functions. Okay, so I think this must be some kind of third-party app that plays over the top of YouTube. So someone's saying the development of that has been canceled. Dear YouTube, you already started some 3 to 5 minute ads recently, starting in mid of videos, and people can't tweet coherent sentences. Now if you play such ads without skipping, man, I can't even fucking read Twitter, man. People writing these broken sentences that make no sense. Let's go back. I don't know. Anyhow, that's a story for you guys. YouTube is testing the idea of playing 5 ads instead of 2 ads before a video. What do you guys think about this? How big of a hassle is this? Would this make you stop using YouTube? I think that's probably doubtful. Would it make you watch less YouTube? Would it make you move over to a platform like Rumble or BitChute or DTube or any of the other number of competitors out there? Is there any chance of a YouTube competitor actually rising up and taking a significant market share or being a significant player in the space? What's kind of funny, at the beginning of this video, at the start of this video, I kind of talked about how advertisements on YouTube are the worst thing to ever happen to YouTube, even though that's, kind of what the entire platform was built for, not to provide us with entertainment, but to serve as ads so that they can make money. But if you think about it, not only do ads kind of ruin the viewer experience and waste your time, but a lot of the big complaints people have about YouTube in terms of censorship and things like that all come back to ads. If you remember, the entire adpocalypse situation was because advertisers don't like certain types of content playing on YouTube, or don't like their videos playing, their advertisements playing on certain type of videos. So even the censorship on YouTube and the controlled information on YouTube all comes back to ads and advertisers. So it's just kind of an ironic thing that the entire platform is built for advertisers, but advertisers are also kind of the worst thing to happen to the platform and wind up ruining the platform. That's all I really got for you guys today. Would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this situation. Drop a comment down below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.